So this is just basically a channel, more of a channel update. The idea that I'll be posting less Yu-Gi-Oh deck profiles. I definitely want to get back into the How to Beat series because that's still viable. That's still something that would be necessary for players. But deck profiles per se, I don't need to do as much. The way the game has gotten to a point where most decks are just link fodder, and you can literally buy structured decks. Gotten to a point where you can just buy 3 copies of a structured deck, throw in a couple tech cards or no tech cards, like Solomon Great, for example, but you still kind of can't lead. Debug is a tech, you can count that when that was a thing. And then you just need a side deck for the meta, and that's about it. So the fact that it's gotten to a point where you can literally just buy what you need to at least buy a good winning strategy, and then just be happy and satisfied with that within your budget. If you want to play the expensive shiny cards that come in a set, you can do that if you could afford it. If you can't, you go the structured deck route, and that's budget, but at least it's still competitive, right? So, and then again, side decking, that's the main thing for most players is side decking. Now imagine how different the game would be if you take side decking out. Then it would matter, more about what your deck can and can't do, and then your skill sets and stuff like that. But now, it doesn't matter since we have side decking, we have better, floodgates, and we got stuff like hand traps and evenly match, and the list goes on and on. You could do anything. You could literally take 3 old Yu-Gi-Oh structured decks and then just put in some hand traps and sideboard, and you could still do really well in an event, even top it with just that alone, just because you have all these outs and floodgates that you can just easily, slide in and slide out of your deck since they're generic. So you don't have to play anything specific to do good in tournaments. Just an observation. Normally, what motivates me to build decks is trying to create something. And now I don't have to create much of anything because, again, every decks nowadays are more link fodder. Like I get like a lot of my, past couple of months ago, I've been posting deck profiles, and most of them was just trying to bring out Tomahawk and then just link summon, bring out Tomahawk and link summon, or do the guard dragon thing. And it's like, yeah, that's all I'm doing is just link summoning. And it's not even in a unique way. It's just like I'm link summoning for the same stuff. I'm just link summoning for the nightmare monsters, or I'm link summoning for the guard dragons, or I'm link summoning to try to create some type of U-board or something, like I'm U-linking, and then that's it. But then you have something like the Solomon Greats, and it's like, oh, that's cool. They have everything you need. You just grab 3 structure decks and go crazy. And I have a Solomon Great deck, and I don't need much anything else. I mean, I do have tons of other decks, but I'm just saying, in general, I didn't have to do much with that deck. I didn't have to, really make it work. It already did. Just like any new archetype that comes out now, it's going to inherently work. And the more likely it's just going to, link spam and put up some more negates, and then you just throw in your hand traps and your floodgates, and then that's it. You're good to go. And, it takes away the whole deck building thing. It takes the whole thinking and planning and having strategy and philosophy and all the efforts that I put into building a deck to make a deck good, even at a low budget. Make a deck capable of doing some really good stuff, with low cost cards like commons and stuff like that, and make them, great when you put them together in a specific deck with a specific strategy. So then your skills plus the cards, combine and give you a winning strategy for very, very low cost, as opposed to just chasing the archetypes that Konami keeps doing, because now Konami's creating the decks for you, and you're just buying it, and it's like, well, that's lame, because it's a trading card game. One, you're supposed to be trading cards, to trade cards so you can upgrade your decks, and you're supposed to, have one specific build, and then you're supposed to improve on it over time. with newer expansions, newer cards coming in, so supposed to have some generic stuff, you know. But over time, they started focusing on archetypes more, and archetypes were supposed to be commons. They were supposed to be, you know, easy to get because they are in the common slots. You know, filler. They fill up the structure decks. I mean the boxes. So you can just get what you need to get by buying the sets. I always liked it when they had half the archetype in one set and half in the other set. That's a great way of selling the sets. Like just by people buying booster packs and, you know, slowly collect the cards they need to build up the decks, because they're common, so obviously they're printed like crazy, so you can always guarantee to get 3 copies of everything you need to build the, you know, Gravekeepers or any type of archetype. Because they were common, they were easy to get, they filled up these sets, so you just had to get the 2 sets and you were able to build that deck. So it's a nice little diamond in the rough, as it were, a little treasure you can find by, you know, buying packs. Now it's like you gotta buy boxes and cases and freights, tins and all this stuff. You gotta buy all this extra stuff just to try to build one deck, and that was crazy. That's how we got that Maximum Crisis scenario where you get, you know, one Necros Bionic in what, every 12 box, booster box, or every case, or one in every case or something like that, when it should be like one in every 2 boxes or something. That would have been a better ratio. So you're getting a lot of Dolphins, not enough Necros cards to actually build a Necros deck. So then, of course, the Necros deck ended up being unnecessarily expensive. I never cared much for the deck. The deck was alright to play in Dueling Pro. You know, just for fun. It's like, oh, it's a cute deck, it's fun and all. But there's way better decks out there, way cheaper decks. I'd rather play a deck that beats Necros than to actually play Necros. Necros was a waste of time. But anyway, to each their own. It was just the idea that it's like, now, you know, you're buying a strategy. You're buying Gokis or Necros or Trickstars or whatever new archetypes coming out. I can't remember most of their names right now. You know, you're just buying a strategy as opposed to like actually building one, or just relying on a strategy you always use, whether you're always about swarming and going aggro, or you're always a control player, or you're a combo player where you come up with this creative, elaborate 3-card combo to do something with, whether it's looping your opponent's hands, or making it where they can't summon more than once per turn, or some strategy, or you just burn them, or you just like think about Trickstars, just chain burn. Think about somebody came up with the idea of grabbing a lot of burn based cards, a lot of draw based cards that were mostly traps, put them together in a deck and created something called chain burn. And of course, Chain Strike was one of the cards in there. So that was somebody created it. That was an idea somebody came up with. But then you got Trickstars, which just inherently is essentially Chain Burn 2.0. You know what I mean? It's just like it inherently was designed with the synergy to make sure you had everything you need to burn your opponent like crazy. And it's like, that's just Chain Burn. You just took an idea, a creative idea, and made it into something, you know what I mean? So that's just the way it is now, that Konami is just like, here's something. You don't have to think, just buy. Don't think, buy. So that makes all your old cards kind of pointless. So all the stuff you bought already is pointless, because they're going to come up with some new stuff that's shinier, prettier, and it's like, here, play this instead. Yeah, you're right. All that money I spent already, let me throw all those cards away, and buy the new stuff and play the new stuff. Teach their own. If people like new stuff, they don't want to play the same stuff, for years and years and years. That's okay. That's a player preference. That's up to you as a player. But it shouldn't be up to the company that produces the product to determine, oh no, instead of you, building your own deck, which is what this game is about, no, we're just going to sell you a deck. We're going to build it for you. We're going to build it. You're going to buy it, and then that's it. End of story. It's like, that kills stuff like me, for example, though. deck building. I build decks. I make things work. I make decks do what they initially weren't capable of doing because they weren't designed to do those cool things. So I made them do those cool things. There's very few decks that can summon Quasar. It was like a couple, but then I came up with a couple other ways to make Quasar. I came up with a pretty generic way that any deck can make Quasar. But then Konami made Master Rule 4, and that killed Quasar. And it's like, that little 3-card combo that was generic that could be splashed in any deck to make Quasar, now can't make Quasar because of Master Rule 4, so that made things complicated. But think about it, I had to figure that out. I had to come up with it. It was inherent. It's not like a structure that came out and boom, now you can easily make Quasar. So, but anyway, that information, those strategies and combos, the 3-card Quasar stuff, it's on my channel. You can go check that out if you're interested in seeing what I'm talking about. But it was weird, just the idea. It's like, I love creating decks. I'm addicted to it, addicted to creating stuff. But now it's like, it's hard to be creative. It's hard to create when, it's just, everything's just straightforward. I mean? It's color by numbers. Instead of you, figuring out how you're going to color a picture and figuring out what's the best colors for it to make it look nice. No, you just follow the numbers and color it based off of the numbers, and that's it. You're following instructions, and that's it. Decks nowadays, you don't build them, you buy them. So that's sad. But anyway, if I get inspired and maybe there is a couple decks I can build, or I just probably be doing just update videos like, hey, I upgraded this deck. That's mainly it. I feel that's a little bit lame where I'm just uploading videos of my decks that I have that I just update once in a while with a brand new card, or the ban list changes. So now my dinosaur deck, I can only have but so many Oviraptors or some shit like that. Because now my Solomon Greats are almost full power. There's a couple cards I still have to take out because they were limited. Gazelle was limited to one of them, right? Yeah, stuff like that. So I still got to modify that deck a little bit. But my dinosaur deck, that's back at full power. I just had to take out the Soul Charger and put in a Monster Born, if I'm right. So didn't have to do much to have my Dino deck up and running again. Because I got back the 3 miscellaneous swords, so that was a big deal. When I got hit to 1, it's like, oh man, that's hurt my deck. My deck is based off of that and Oviraptor. And then bang, got back miscellaneous swords. Like, yeah, my deck's back at full power, but I lost the Soul Charge. Oh, that's cool, not a big deal. Replace that with something else. It wasn't that deep. It's a 1-of anyway, so it wasn't that deep. The Soul Charge got hit. It was long overdue for it to get hit. I was surprised that it lasted that long. I was surprised when we had 3 of them, 3 Soul Chargers for a year, I think, or 6 months at least, before it got limited to 1. And it's like, damn, y'all didn't ban it. You still got at least 1. 1 is more than enough. But we had it for a couple of years now. It's like, it's about time. Y'all got rid of it. It was too good. It was too good. Man, if they bring it back, that'd be nice. I still have my copies. I'll throw them right back in my decks. But right now, I had to change up, try something different. I hate that they hit Ghost Sarcophagus. That was a main staple I was throwing in all my decks. But it's cool. It's cool. I could deal with it. I could play without Gold Sark. But that'll be the end of this video for now. Don't want to just make this a rant video. And that's the end of the video.